Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are here once again to bring to you Ask Huda. I'm your host, Fuad Muhammad. And as usual, we are privileged to be in the company of Dr. Muhammad Salah. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan, Fuad.
Wa yak. Just a reminder of our telephone numbers, 00202-38555-248 or 249. Or you can send us an email at ask, that's ASK, @huda.tv. Doctor, we begin our question from Sister Mariam from the UAE, and she's asking about a therapy called crystal healing. And she said that it is used in form of alternative medicine. And she gave a brief description in which she says that they place different color crystals on different part of the body in order to find the pain. And also they use some Quranic verse in the process. She wants to know if it's permissible.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wal aqibatu lil muttaqin. Wa la udwana illa ala al-zalimin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil awwalin wal akhirin. Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Thumma amma ba'd. Praise be to Allah alone. We praise Him and we seek His help. Whomsoever Allah guides is a truly guided one, and whomsoever Allah leaves astray, no one can show him guidance. May the best peace and blessings be upon Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. As you've seen last time, I paused and I didn't give an answer because I didn't have a chance to hear of crystal healing before.
Yes.
And after investigating and making my own research, I found that crystal healing is not something that's new. Something have been known since the past. And it is some sort of amulets. And this is one thing which Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had prohibited, and Islam came to demolish. We don't believe in amulets, in talisman, in ta'weed. The nature of the healing, of crystal healing, is based on that the patient would put faith in crystals. And there is some sort of spiritual healing, to the extent that I have even searched some Christian websites, and it said that if the person stopped the treatment with the crystal healing, his spirituality will deteriorate because he's putting his trust in other than God, in other powers other than God. This was supporting him and bringing new energy to the body part, which has been exposed to the crystals, to certain crystals, and so on. So it doesn't matter even if the person is using the Quranic verses or other things along with it. But since it is a violation of the Sharia, it should be banned and should be prohibited totally. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Man allaqa faqad ashrak." Anyone who wears a talisman or a ta'weez has committed disbelief and associated others to Allah in worship. In another hadith, he said that Allah did not create any ailment or disease, but He created the proper treatment and remedy for it. So seek remedy and do not seek remedy in what's prohibited. So since this is prohibited and it's based on, after investigation, on some spiritual power that the patient will put trust in and so on, and the healer would utilize, then I urge Muslims not to use this kind of medication or healing at all.
Okay. And our second question was from Sister Zoya from Canada, and she says, why we're not allowed to wear the niqab in Salah and Hajj? And when some scholars claim that it is a must for us to wear.
Okay, first of all, the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تنتقب المحرمة ولا تلبس القفازين. This is the hadith, which is sound hadith with regards to the ihram, the attitude of a woman in a state of ihram. Similar to a man must do certain things and abstain from doing certain things.
Yes.
A woman likewise, with regards to a woman, she must cover the entire body except for the face.
Yes.
Which the hadith, according to the divergent meaning, is a very explicit in the regard of if it is not permissible during the state of ihram nor the prior to cover the face. That means outside these two conditions, a woman normally should be covering her face, according to the divergent meaning, which is a very well known and strong foundation in the principles of jurisprudence. As far as why, we said before, with regards to the acts of worship, we do not question Allah's will nor His wisdom. If He says pray Maghrib 3 rak'ahs, we don't say why Maghrib only 3 rak'ahs, while Zuhr 4, or Isha out loud, and Zuhr is secret prayer, we don't recite out loud. Al-ibadat tawqifiyya, we take the commands from Allah the Almighty. I also wanted to say another very important thing, which is, yes, indeed, while it is restricted to cover the face in the prayers, whether for a male or a female. And in the ihram, only for the female, it's worth mentioning here that if a woman during the state of ihram happens to be seen by men who are not her related mahram, in this condition she must cover her face.
Okay.
And this is narrated by Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her. Same thing according to Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, may Allah have mercy on him. If a woman is praying in public and she's been seen by men, in this condition she's allowed to cover her face, because the original status is to be covered.
Okay, okay. We have Sister Fawzia from Qatar. Assalamu alaikum, Sister. You're live on Ask Huda.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother.
Wa alaikum
assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa Sheikh Muhammad Saleh.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sister, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I have a question.
Okay.
I want to know, is it permissible to use black henna? And I want to know the ruling.
Okay.
Okay. Jazakallah khair.
Wa jazakum.
That's Sister Fawzia there from Qatar. Mukhtar from UAE, he said that, can I listen to the Quran and write it in English, meaning transliteration, in order to memorize it?
This question is a very interesting one. It shows that either new Muslims or reverts or non-Arab who are struggling to memorize the Quran. So perhaps that would be a mean of encouragement for those who are born Arab and have been blessed by learning how to read and recite the Quran, to read it frequently, to recite it, because this is a blessing that many people are eager to have and dying to possess. With regards to his question, whether it's permissible to write the sound of the Quranic verses in English or Latin letters, the transliteration, in order to be able to memorize it, it is permissible. It's also permissible to read it if you don't know how to read Arabic, to read the transliteration, which will enable you to read the Arabic text. But I want to tell you one thing. There is no transliteration on earth which will enable you to recite the Quran properly, because there are several letters, as we explained in the program of correct recitation. There are several letters which do not exist in English, such as the ha and the kha and the ayn. So how will you pronounce them? You'll end up mispronouncing them. So I suggest, along with your attempts, serious attempts, and sincere trying to memorize by writing or reading the transliteration, I highly recommend for you to spend some time learning how to read Arabic, studying the Arabic alphabet, and how to put letters and words together and read them. And it is not difficult at all. I have had experience with many reverts, with many Americans who have tried, and I promise, in 6 months, some of them managed to read with tajweed and have memorized almost Juz' Amma and so on. In 6 months, we're talking about perhaps half hour a day, early morning or so. So if you find a private tutor, or if you hang around with good people, or ask somebody to assist you, then it would be much, much better than memorizing by mispronouncing the words and letters. May Allah grant you success and enable you to memorize His book.
Ameen. Ameen. We have Sister Yahya from Egypt. Assalamu alaikum, Sister. You're live and ask their questions, please.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah. This time, brothers, I'm not calling to ask, but to correct a mistake I made last episode concerning Kitab Allah al-Aziz. That means when praying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give it tazkiyah to all working and supporting Huda.
هو أعلم بمن اتقى.
Allahumma ameen.
No.
Yes.
Okay,
I said that Allah Azza wa Jalla says, فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ بَلِ اللَّهُ يُزَكِّي مَنْ يَشَاءُ.
No.
Actually, I mixed parts of 2 ayahs from 2 surah and recited them as one. The correction is the following: فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ is the part of ayah of Surah Al-Najm, while بَلِ اللَّهُ يُزَكِّي مَنْ يَشَاءُ is from Surah Al-Nisa. اللهم علمنا وارزقنا الصواب. May Allah bless you all. Allahumma ameen wa alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa
rahmatullahi. Thank you so much.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Yahya there from Egypt. We have Brother Saeed from the United Kingdom. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live and ask their questions, please.
Assalamu alaikum to both of you.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And I'm very grateful for giving us the opportunity to have Huda TV here in the UK for the first time.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
I've got a question for the Sheikh regarding children in the masjid.
Okay.
Recently, I was at a local masjid, and where a few children were making some noise in the background while we were doing the salat.
Okay.
And one of the caretakers of the masjid stood up and the comment that he mentioned a hadith about three things that have to be protected from the masjid. And he said one, those who are mentally ill, fitna, and children who do not know how to behave in the masjid. And my feeling is it's very important to have children exposed to the environment in masjid so that they get used to it. And I just wanted to ask the Sheikh about his opinion about the issue of having children in the masjid.
Okay. So brother, first your view on Huda TV now live on the screen or on web streaming?
No, this is a Huda TV live on TV on Hotbed.
Alhamdulillah wa shukla. Okay, let me answer you quickly and then I have a comment. First of all, the hadith is not a hadith. Okay. Which says جَنِّبُوا صِبْيَانَكُمْ etc. This is not a hadith, so we do not rely on it. Unfortunately, it is very, very common, along with so many other hadith where people put together in order to impose a belief or a tradition or cultural practices. As a matter of fact, on the contrary, there are so many hadith in which that we have seen minors at the time of the Prophet ﷺ enter the masjid. Not only prayed, but we have Al-Hasan, who came and who rode on the back of the Prophet ﷺ, his grandson, while he was in state of prostration. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, prolonged his prostration to the extent that some of the companions thought that he passed away. Then when he finished, he apologized, he said that it was my son who was riding on my back. That's in the salah. The Prophet ﷺ said in a sound hadith, sometimes I begin the prayer and I intend to prolong the recitation, to recite a long surah. Then once I hear the weeping and the cry of an infant, I shorten my prayer, my recitation, in order to have mercy on his mother. So that's in the prayer. When he was given the khutbah on Friday and he saw his granddaughter Umama, and she was walking and she was being toppled in her long dress, so Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam descended from the minbar and he picked her up and he quoted the verse which means, indeed, your sons, your wealth are but a trial, a fitna. And furthermore. I always say, in every visit I make to the West, whenever I visit an Islamic center, if I only see a place of prayer, I say, you're missing a lot. Because, alhamdulillah, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that he has been given, and the Ummah has been given one quality that no nation before Islam was given, which is, وَجُعِلَتْ لِيَ الْأَرْضُ مَسْجِدًا وَطَهُورًا فَأَيُّ مْرِئٍ مِّنْ أُمَّتِي أَدْرَكَتْهُ الصَّلَاةِ فَلْيُصَلِّ. I mean, if we have a basketball court, can we establish the jama'ah there? Absolutely, as long as the place is a tahir. So we need to keep in mind that whenever we construct any Islamic center, and we have to learn from our neighbors. Why not? Learn from the churches, how they construct them. Not a problem. From the synagogues. And we have visited them, we've seen them. It is very interesting when I see a room for babysitting. Yes, there is a glass, but it's soundproof. We could see the kids playing. They're in a very safe environment. They have one lady or one person supervising them. While we're having the lecture, while we're having Friday prayer or the potluck or whatever, we could keep an eye on them while we are attentively listening to the speaker or praying Isha and Taraweeh and so on. We spend very little, but in order to make it convenient for every person. Those who do not bring their children along with them, they're very offended because the kids are messing up the prayers and keep going in and out and slamming the door, etc. We have seen that. So that's why they say this is not religious. As a matter of fact, Islam is a religion of balance. Yes, we're supposed to bring our children who are at the age of recognizing what's right from what's wrong.
Yes.
Not a child who may urinate or deteriorate the property of the masjid or urinate on the carpet, as you know. But a child whom, if you ask him to sit down, he will sit down. Stand up next to you, he will stand up next to you. And every parent, if you have a child, you will go all the way by the end of the line, and you keep your child next to you by the end of the line, not right behind the imam, etc. I mean, take precautions, train your children, and discipline them before you come, and reward them for being disciplined while you are in the masjid. And it is the responsibility of the entire community that when you're building the masjid or the Islamic center, make sure that you have a room with a soundproof glass, where there is plenty of toys and games so that the kids can have fun. They love to come to the masjid. From day one, it is engraved in their mentality that I love to go to the masjid. But the masjid, whenever it's only a musalla, when the speaker is always screaming, what would attract our children and the youth in the West? Masajid and Islamic centers in the West, in Europe and in the States, are not supposed to be a copy of what we have in the Middle East. I know that I'm going to the masjid in order to pray. We don't have a basketball court nor a swimming pool in any masjid in our Muslim countries. But the masjid from day one, when the Prophet ﷺ constructed it in Al-Madinah, served as a community hall, as a place for gathering, for partying, for condolence, for planning for war strategies, for receiving the delegations, non-Muslims who sit in the masjid. And there was a place for asleep, Ahlul Sufa, who did not have a place, and they would eat there, and men and women would enter the masjid. So we don't want to bring our cultural package with us into the West and say, no, this is a masjid where women are not allowed, so how are they going to learn? No children are allowed, how are they going to learn? How will they learn that they are Muslims and there is a place of worship for them? So unfortunately, we don't have enough time to tackle this, but inshallah, perhaps one time we'll talk about how should be the Islamic center, especially in the West.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. We have Sister Noura from Sudan. Assalamu alaikum, Sister. You're live and ask all your questions, please.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. I have two questions.
Okay.
One on supplication. I heard a few people say before that they are not pious enough to supplicate to Allah for it to be answered. Therefore, they go through pious people, like the imams, to supplicate on their behalf. Is this right?
Okay.
And then my second question is about sihr. Is there such a thing as having 7 dates from Medina per day that would help, protect against sihr or something like that?
Okay.
That was once told when I was in Mecca. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. That's Sister Noura there from Sudan. We also have Sister Mariam from the United States of America. Assalamu alaikum, Sister. You're live on Ask Huda. Your questions, please.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have 3 questions.
Okay.
My first question is regarding, I have a daughter who's under 2 years old, and while I'm praying, and she always complains in front of me. I was wondering if it does invalidate my prayer because she's in front of me.
Okay.
And my second question is regarding, I heard about praying two rakah before Asr. And there's a hadith regarding that, beside the 12 rakah you pray during the day.
Okay.
I want to know if there's anything authentic about that.
Yes.
Okay.
And also regarding a woman cutting her hair, very, very short, how the man cuts her hair. She's been advised to grow it back, but she says she don't have no bad intention. And I want to know regarding that if there's any shame on her for doing that because there's no validity reason for her to do that.
Can you repeat the last question for me, please?
It's regarding cutting her hair. She cut her hair, but she don't have no good reason. She says it's easy for her to take care of it.
Okay. Jazakallah khair, Sister Mariam there from the United States of America. We also have Sister Muhammad from Egypt. Assalamu alaikum, Sister. You're live on Ask Huda.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question concerning hanging tamima. Because I want to ask that I'm wearing a necklace with the shape of blue eye. Taking into consideration that I'm not hanging it because I want it to protect me or save me, just because I like its color and its shape.
Muhammad, let me ask you a question.
Is it permissible me to wear it or not?
Can you hear me, Muhammad?
Yes.
Okay. Now, normally, why do people wear such necklace? Okay, I guess you know the answer. And for that reason, because this particular necklace, which has 5 fingers, a hand, or the blue eye, or whatever, is being used as a talisman, or an amulet, or ta'weed, then Muslims are not allowed to wear it, even if you say, I have a good intention. I was returning from Emirates at Dubai airport. I have seen a young couple, Muslims, and they were wearing a rubber bracelet. So I asked him, I was at the counter, I said, what is this for? He said, it is to bring a good luck. And the other one was wearing a necklace, also with beads and so on, 2 males. I said, what is it? It is to bring a good luck, but my intention is good, I don't believe in it, whatever. But the truth came first when he said, it is to bring a good luck. Okay, in Arabic, حظاظة, to bring a good luck. I said, you know that if you're wearing such thing, that your prayer will not be accepted. How could you believe in a piece of rubber to bring you a good luck? and you claim that you believe in the oneness of Allah and His preordainment, His divine destiny, and that He is ad-darru an-nafi'.
Yes.
How could you? So you turned around and said, well, I know, but I don't really believe in it. I understand. But look, these are all false excuses. Wearing an adornment, whether a necklace or a bracelet for women, is permissible. There is no problem with that. But مَنْ تَشَبَّهَ بِقَوْمٍ فَهُوَ مِنْهُمْ. If you try to emulate and imitate certain people, your intention is different. But when people say the same thing, brothers and sisters, I really thank you, Muhammad, for calling in right now. I see some people who are supposed to be religiously committed, hanging from their front mirror, this talisman. They know the blue eye, especially amongst the Arab,
yes,
it is to repel the evil and the evil eye. Or they hang a horseshoe. So what is the purpose of hanging such thing? It is known that hanging the horseshoe, or the blue eye, or the hand, the palm with 5 fingers, supposedly people believe in it. Those who believe in it, it would repel the evil eye, block the hasad and the ayn, and so on. So no, you're not supposed to wear it, and it is not permissible.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. We have Sister Zahra from Egypt. Assalamu alaikum, sister. Your life and ask Huda.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just want to ask 2 questions to
Okay.
Which the first question is, my sister passed away, and
Okay.
she left 4 children, which is very small. And I know, and I read the hadith where the yatim children, if you help them, Allah will give you a lot of thawab. So I was wondering, the yatim is only the children who their fathers passed away, or the mothers passed away as well?
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
And the second question is Salatul Fajr. I've been to Somalia, and Salatul Fajr I get confused because they make 3 adhan.
3
adhan.
Okay.
I just confused. I said, which is the first? Should I pray?
Did you try to ask what is the 3rd adhan for? Or which adhan is the Fajr adhan?
Yes, that's what I want to know.
Oh, I don't know personally. Maybe you can consult another brother who's from Somalia. Inshallah, we'll find out.
Okay. Jazakallah khair, Sister Zahra there from Egypt. Abdul Rahman from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, she said she had several dreams that became reality, and she wants to know what's your opinion about this.
Okay, before I answer this question about dream issue, I want to deliver the glad tidings and the good news to the viewers. Subhanallah, with the financial dilemma that the channel is going through, we have somebody who sponsored the channel to be aired directly on Hotbird, and this is the fruit. So I want to thank this person, because the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever does not thank people does not thank Allah the Almighty. If you're not grateful to people for their good doing to you, then you're not grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the best mean to thank any person for doing you anything that you cannot afford to thank him materially is to say, Jazakallahu khairan. So may Allah bless this person and his family. And also I'd like to pray and thank all the brothers and sisters who called in to support and sponsor programs. And the best comment and remark to that is the prophetic statement in this regard, where the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ad-dallu ala al-khayri lahu ajru fa'ilih." So for every person who watches goodness, listens to the khayr, to the Quranic guidance, to the Sunnah, whether a non-Muslim accepts Islam, whether a Muslim by name came back to his or her senses and started practicing the religious duties, whether a practicing Muslim that he was indulged into some particular mistake and he realized through the programs that it is right or wrong and so on. Any guidance that will introduce to people, you are a partner in that. You are a partner in that, without diminishing the word of either one of us. May Allah grant all of us sincerity. So I highly encourage everybody to seek a share of this goodness. It is for everybody. As I said before, this is one of the best forms of jihad, of legitimate and permissible jihad nowadays. May Allah accept, and I'm very, very pleased to hear callers from Europe watching us live. As well as, by the way, that as far as I know, that Huda TV has been aired live also on Time Warner to North America as well. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spread His word all over the universe. Now with regards to dreams, the sister said that...
Okay, just before you tackle the question, can we take Sister Ruqayya from Nigeria? Assalamu alaikum, sister. You're live and ask Huda.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I have two questions.
Okay.
My first question is about Salatul Qasr, that is traveler's prayer.
Okay.
Salatul
When somebody travels to... Hello?
Yes, go ahead, sister.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, sister.
About Salatul Qasr, traveler's prayer.
Okay.
When somebody travels to another town, is he supposed to pray two rak'ats, that is Qasr, for more than 3 days if he is going to stay for more than 3 days?
Okay.
And when he is living outside his hometown,
okay,
is he supposed to pray Qasr prayer when he visited his hometown?
Okay, I understand, Sister Ruqayya.
And my second question is about reading loudly in prayer about women.
Okay.
Can women pray? Can women read loudly like men?
Okay.
Or they can't.
Okay, got it,
Thank
Sister
you.
Ruqayya there from Nigeria. Jazakallah khair. We also have Yasir from the UAE. Assalamu alaikum, sister. Your life and ask other questions, please.
Walaikum salam, brothers. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Muhammad.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Actually, I'm in deep confusion. I don't know what to do. Actually, I had my periods last month on the 26th. So I completed on the 7th day and I had my ghusl. I finished. And then I was saying my prayers regularly. Then after that, on the 13th day of my period, that I didn't get any spotting or like that. But on the 13th day of the date when it started from 26, I noted some kind of blood. But it was fresh blood. It was not dark in color.
Okay.
But it was in red color. So what I did was I just cleaned myself and I said my prayers. I was saying my prayers until yesterday. So today morning, I noticed, and then again it was the same thing. So today, when I counted from my days from 26, so today is the 17th day. So I was a little bit confused whether I should say my prayers or not. So from today morning, I have not prayed since it was the 17th day. So what should I do?
Yasir, in brief, because this is related to the prayer, so I got to answer you immediately. As long as it is not the time of irregular menses, nor is it the same physical characteristics of the bleeding, then that's considered as irregular bleeding, which does not prevent a woman from praying, nor fasting, nor reading or touching the Quran. You will be only required to perform an independent wudu for each prayer once its time entered. And with this wudu, you can pray the fard and all the related nawafil and other sunan as much as you want, even though there is a blood flow. Okay? Then whenever the prayer of the next time approaches, once it enters, you will be required to perform a new wudu. If there is any contaminations against one's clothes with impurities, with such case, then also the tahara or the purity of one's clothes or the underclothes are a must. Then perform a new wudu for the next prayer and pray along with it all the related nawafil, and there is no burden on you.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. We have Brother Fasih from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live and ask a question.
Salam. Dr. Salah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, Fasih. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
How old are you now?
I'm going to be 15, inshallah.
MashaAllah.
The question is on the behalf of my mother, and she was reading Surah Qarya, and as a note to the last ayah, that is Wanarun Hamia, there was a note given. It says that it was a hadith that Jahannam complained to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that a part of it was eating another part of it, and it was getting heated up, and it asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give it 2 breaths, and so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted it 2 breaths, and Prophet ﷺ said that when it's intensely cold, then it is the cold breath of Jahannam and you must heat up your prayers, and if it's too heated, it is the hot breath of Jahannam and you must pray in a cool place. So is it really a hadith or is it a fabrication? That's my only question.
Okay.
Jazakallah khair.
It is a hadith. Okay.
Okay, we have Brother Sayyid from Qatar. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live and ask other questions, please.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sayyid, how are you?
Alhamdulillah. How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking. What's your question?
Sheikh, I have a question regarding the Jummah khutbah. During the Jummah khutbah, the Khatib sits on the pulpit for a short while in between the two khutbahs. Is it permissible to offer a short dua during this time?
Can you repeat the question, Brother Sayyid?
During the Jummah khutbah, the Khatib sits on the pulpit for a short while in between the two khutbahs.
Okay.
So is it permissible for us to offer a short dua during this time?
Okay. Jazakallah khair, Brother Sayyid. They are from Qatar. We also have Brother Muhammad from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live and ask their questions, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I am going to say one hadith in part, and I would like to ask you whether it is a sound hadith, and give me a full text of hadith if it is sound hadith.
Inshallah.
Okay. The hadith قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يوشك أن يأتي على الناس زمان لا يبقى من الإسلام إلا اسمه ولا يبقى من القرآن إلا رسمه مساجدهم وهي خراب من الهدى. Can you complete this hadith and let me know the reference also, please?
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Wa alaikum assalam.
We have also Brother Sulaiman from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live and ask their questions, please. I think we just lost Brother Sulaiman there from Nigeria. We'll take a short break here on Ask Huda. We'll be back right after this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The deeds are bound by its intentions. The deeds that we do, we have to have a sincere intentions that we're doing it only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have the best definitions of things, the right vision, the criteria in which we would get to know what is right and what is wrong through the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The tafsir of the Quran is to explain, is to interpret the best words, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Together, but all their efforts were in vain because of ignoring or turning away from this great foundation. We see many people coming to the way of truth, following the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but later on they get off track. What is the reason behind that? Unity is a result, it's not a cover-up. We have to be united from inside. And Allah made this clear in the Quran when He said, وَأَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. You're watching Ask Huda. Quick reminder of our telephone numbers 00202 38555 248 or 249, or you can send us an email at ask, that's ask, at huda.tv. We have Brother Muhammad from Oman. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda. Your questions, please.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I would like to know a question. I'd like to ask a question about the hadith about Khurasan, if it's authentic or not. And can the hadith about Khurasan be the Afghanistan today?
Okay. Jazakallah khair, Brother Muhammad there from Oman. We also have Brother Abu Anas from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda. Questions, please.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah blessed us with a son during the month of Ramadan, and we named him Anas.
Mm-hmm.
And as per Sunnah, if you get a son, then you need to sacrifice either 2 sheep, or then if you sacrifice a cow, then 2 parts of cow may be considered as aqiqah. I just want to have a clarification here. We did not do his aqiqah just on the 7th day, but we went to Pakistan during the Hajj days, Eid al-Adha, and we sacrificed a cow, 1 part as the sacrifice of Eid al-Adha, and 2 parts with the intention of doing aqiqah. So is that all right?
Okay. Jazakallah
And
khair.
there is one more question also. If anyone insults Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the way we just come across numerous situations here, I mean, not here in Saudi Arabia, of course, in the Western Europe particularly.
Mm-hmm.
So what should be the appropriate response?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Jazakallah khair there, Brother Abu Anas from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We also have Sister Habiba from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum. Sister, you're live on Ask Huda. Your questions, please.
Yeah, please, I'd like to find out whether it's permissible for a woman to visit the grave site and pray for the deceased.
Okay. Jazakallah khair, Sister Habiba there from Nigeria. I think we finally have a chance to answer Sister Abdul Rahman's question.
Okay, about the dream. First of all, with regards to Fasih's question, the hadith which is mentioned by Ibn Kathir, may Allah bless him, in his interpretation of Surah Al-Qari'ah concerning the verse Narun Hamiyah, it's a sound hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah, and it's collected by both Al-Bukhari or Muslim. The hadith begins as that the fire said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أَكَلَ بَعْضِي بَعْضًا, that the fire, a part of it have eaten, a part of it out of extreme and intense heat of fire. May Allah protect us against its heat and the blazing fire. The dream. The sister was saying that she has seen many dreams and they came true. What is the indication of that? There is a hadith in this regard. The Prophet ﷺ said, الرؤيا الصادقة, a dream or a night vision which comes true is a part of 46 parts of the prophethood. How? Basically, before the Prophet ﷺ received the first inspiration of wahy or revelation by Jibreel alayhi salam, 6 months before that, the introductions of the prophethood and the risala and the inspiration have started by seeing night visions, and it would come as the daybreak. It would come exactly as you've seen it. Whatever you've seen in his dream, and if he tells people, it would come true. كَفَلَقِ الصُّبْحِ. So 6 months with true night visions. The prophethood and the mission of the Prophet ﷺ was 23 years. How many 6 months in it? 23 years? 46. This is how الرؤيا الصادقة represents 1 part out of 46 parts of the prophethood. It doesn't mean that you're receiving any wahy or revelation or inspiration. It has been seized by the death of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, but it's a good sign. It's a good sign. So when you see a good dream, it is very important that to consult somebody who knows, who is a righteous person, consult him concerning the interpretation of dreams, because whatever interpretation will be offered, it would come true.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. We have Brother Ahmed from the United Kingdom. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Assalamu brother. Yeah, firstly, I congratulate Sheikh Salah.
Thank you, brother.
Huda Channel, yeah. Just one question, brother. I was trying to ask the Sheikh and you as well on the Huda Channel as well. You know, from London, we are in UK. You know, most of UK, they have Astra. They have Eurobird 1, which is 28 East, which is called Astra 2A or Astra 2B or Astra 2D.
Okay.
So if you can put Huda Channel on Astra 2A or 2B or Astra 2D, or European one? Because most people in United Kingdom, they have this strat which is called European 28 East. Because people in here, they have small dishes and they live in mostly in the flat. They can't have hot beer or nail salt. It's impossible for them.
Okay.
So I was just asking, because Huda Channel is English, isn't it? So most people in England, inshallah, is likely, is very benefit for all Muslims in the United Kingdom, so they can benefit from Huda Channel.
Okay, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Ahmed. I will definitely convey your message, inshallah, to the administration, and we'll see what we can do in this regard.
I know now Huda Channel is on hot beer, I know that. Yeah, but another question, Sheikh.
Sure.
Most people, I know now, is it possible, could I do Jum'ah prayer in my workplace with another 3 people or 4 people? That's all I can do, because obviously I can't leave my work.
Okay.
Okay, Jazakallah khair.
Many thanks, brother.
Okay. Wa alaikum assalam. Brother Ahmed there from the UK. Her second question was, does Allah responds to dua differently with regards to the effort made in making the dua?
Yes, of course. Not only with regards to the effort, with regards to several other considerations. The hadith, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that not necessarily every dua you make invoking Allah the Almighty for whatever you may think it's good, that will be delivered immediately, because Allah the Almighty says, وَادْعُ الْإِنسَانُ بِالشَّرِّ دُعَاءَهُ بِالْخَيْرِ وَكَانَ الْإِنسَانُ عَجُولًا. Sometimes, Fuad, we invoke Allah with the maximum strength we have, with sincere devotion. Oh Allah, all what I need in this life is just to buy this car. This is my dream. Or, oh Allah, give me the son, give me the son, give me this. He has $3, $4, $5, but he's dying to have the son. But sometimes you don't know that what you're invoking Allah for may be the main cause of your destruction.
SubhanAllah.
This car is going to be the worst for you. Or you would die in it. Or this job would divert you from the deen. Or this wife whom you're dying to marry is not befitting for you. It is not your good match. Is not so many reasons. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows.
Yes.
And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. It may be that you dislike something while it is good for you. And the opposite is also true. You may love something while it is definitely bad for yourselves. And Allah knows best and you know none. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said, whenever a believer makes an invocation, raises his or her hands with sincere devotion and asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for anything, yes, definitely there is a response. But the response will vary according to Allah's will. With Fuad, he knows that the response cannot be delayed. He's in a dilemma. So he needs an immediate assistance. And only Allah can assist him. So the response will be immediate. And he will deliver the response. It happened in so many incidents and narrations we discussed, such as the 3 who were being captured in the cave, such as with Prophet Yunus a.s. and others. And it happens in our today's life. When somebody's child falls, he says, Allah Akbar, oh Allah, save him. It's a matter of, you need an immediate response. So there could be an immediate response according to Allah's will when He knows that's best for you. Or, if there is no immediate response, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will utilize this dua, which you have been invoking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for instance, to buy this particular car, or to be accepted in this particular job, or. So Allah would utilize this dua in order to repel and prevent the harm that's equivalent, but on the contrary, to the benefit that you're looking for, in order to protect you from a harm that was about to befall you. Oh, but I didn't know. You don't have to know. But your dua was effective. And the third, that if there is neither an immediate response, no protection against anything, that the dua will be preserved and saved for you to benefit you on the Day of Judgment, which is definitely the best. So every single believer, once you raise your hands, while you know that you've been eating from halal, wearing clothes earned from halal earning, and you say, Ya Rab, Ya Rab, your dua is never wasted. It's definitely answered, as long as you do not haste and rush and quit.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. We have Brother Abdul Rahman from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live and ask Huda.
Alaykum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam. Brother, can you just turn the volume of your television set down before asking your question, please?
Yes, sir. I like this channel, Huda. Very good.
Brother, can you just turn the volume down, please?
And we love you too, Abdul Rahman. Do you have a question?
Okay.
Okay, Jazakumullah khairan. Brothers and sisters, the viewers, if I may request you to hold your phone calls for now, because we have plenty of backlogs, so let's answer some of those questions, inshallah.
Okay, we have Sister Abira from Pakistan. She actually called from Pakistan. She says, are we allowed to donate our organs when we die?
For instance, this question needs a series of episodes in order to explain, because there are two different views. One which says it is permissible with very strict conditions, and another which says it's totally not permissible. So I would just give some of the reasonings of those who say it is permissible with conditions. What are the conditions? That it is not for any wages or compensation, no material compensation whatsoever. It is just for the sake of saving the life of somebody else, and according to the will of the deceased himself. It will be given to a believer. It will be without humiliating the body of the deceased, and it would not be by rushing the term, because it's a big trade. Even it's common in the West. There was big scandals in some very advanced and modern countries, where people who are lying down on life support, they would expedite their death by pulling out the life support and the tubes in order to say that they're dead, but the brain is still functioning. Maybe there is a heartbeat, or there is not. They rush in order to eliminate or extract certain organs because there is a line of people who are waiting for those organs. So that has to be regulated according to the view which says it is permissible. Be given to believers to save life, and it is certainly helpful and useful, and it would save the life of the recipient. Okay? There is a series of tests have to be done in order to find out whether there is a compatibility between the recipient and the organ which will be coming from the donor, whether he is alive or dead. And there should not be any money compensation whatsoever, even if it is given to the ears of the dead person.
Okay, and we have Brother Ali from the United States asking, is it allowed to delay the prayer seeking knowledge? And he mentioned the hadith, or the occasion where Ibn Abbas was giving a lesson and a man stood up and said, Salah, Salah, and he told the man that he knew the sunnah more than him.
Well, if there is a lecture, for instance, if there is a dars, what we need to do is realize that the adhan should be called on time. We do not postpone the adhan an hour later and say that we're sitting in a halqa. No. The adhan will be postponed, the adhan will be called on time. And if the prayer, as long as the congregation is waiting for another 20, 30 minutes, that's still during the best time of the prayer. With regards to Salat al-Isha, if it is delayed, there is no problem as long as the congregation is there and they're sitting. As long as that will not approach in the end of the time, nor that would lead to those who are coming to pray would not pray and miss the prayer, and the adhan will be called on time.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Sheikh, we'd like to thank all the viewers who participated in the show today, and for those who still have questions, you can also send them at ask, that's ask@huda.tv. And for all the viewers who would like to support this worthy cause of Ask Huda and Huda TV as a whole, you can send an email at support@huda.tv. Until next time, I leave you with Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
If my love is attached to thee, then from sins I will be free. Each time my heart will beat, your name will resound with heat. Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate